hello everyone, we're live here on the Digital DJ Tips network, which means Facebook, YouTube and Twitch and Mixcloud Live, so wherever you're watching us, hello and welcome. It's me, Phil Morse, here on a Tuesday in the studio with another one of our Tuesday Tips live broadcasts, and that means we take a big question in the DJ world and we answer it for you to help you to become better at being a DJ, better at being a DJ producer, whatever it is you want out of this awesome hobby of ours. So today we're talking about controllers, and we have our choice of the best 4 controllers between $500 and $1,000. So if you've been with us for the last couple of weeks, we started off with tiny controllers like this little one I've got here. Then we moved up to the more kind of usual beginner controllers. And then we moved up to what we're looking at this week, which is kind of semi-pro. So if you want to spend a bit more than the $300 to $500 mark and you want to get something a bit better, this is a discussion for you. Now, I'm sure you've got views on this as well. I'm sure you've got controllers that I'm not featuring here that you're going to want to talk about. That's all cool. That's what this is all about. So please do have a chat in the comments. I'm here to help you. I'm here to talk through all that stuff with you live. This is live. So before we get started, and this is a live show, so if you're watching the replay on YouTube thinking, get to the point, man, you're watching a live show. So look, if you want to make sure you always get to see these things live, it's really simple. You just have to press that bell icon and once you subscribe to the channel, so do that stuff and then you'll know when we go live, and that's going to be the easiest way to make sure you actually join us on one of these broadcasts as it's happening, as opposed to joining us on one of these broadcasts after it's happened, which we don't want you to do. We want you to be part of it. And if you don't know anything about us, we're Digital DJ Tips. We're the people behind Rock the Dance Floor, the top-selling book on Amazon on how to DJ. We're also the people behind the Digital DJ Tips website, which I'm sure you know, but if you don't know, head over to digitaldjtips.com. It's full of reviews and all that kind of stuff, and it's awesome. But more to the point, we're behind, and it says Phil, they're looking at his browser, just trying to get it up for you to show you, because of course, me being me, I'm rushing around and not fully 100% prepared. We're also the people behind all the DJ courses that I'm sure some of you watching this own at least one of, which you can see here. And they're on the Digital DJ Tips website, digitaldjtips.com/courses, if you want to take a look at those. Right, that's who we are, that's about us, that's what we're talking about today. A few quick early hellos, and then we're going to get started. The first thing I'm going to do is try and correct my video output so I can actually see what the hell you can see. Oh, it works. Good. It's all right on this desk because this is the broadcast computer, but as soon as I go over there, I'm running blind without that. Anyway, it's working now. It's the important thing. Right, so a few early hellos, and then we're going to get started into our topic today, which is the 4 actually best DJ controllers, $500 to $1,000. Hello to Scott. Thank you for joining us on the live stream at the weekend, Scott. If you don't know about our live streams, by the way, we had a great one at the weekend. We were live in the Spanish Lake District, so it looks a little bit like that. We had our whole live stream set up with us, and we took it down to like an inland beach. It was lovely and warm, and we just played some chill out music and had some fun. So head over to the YouTube page if you want to catch up with us, just spinning some tunes and hanging out. But that was on Sunday, and we do it every Sunday, by the way. So you know, there's Ben and then Steve and me and other DJs from the crew doing that, so come and join us. Right, hi to Scott, and as I say, thanks for joining us then. Hi to GM, Mixmaster G, Trevor, DJ LV2D, who's in a stormy Antwerp. Hi to Manico and Robert. Apparently it's shockingly not windy at the moment in Western New York, says Scott, so there we go. So hi to Sean and Darren, who's in Norfolk, in the United Kingdom, to Biggs Hondo and Mike Allen, DJ Skojo69. Dr. Karen says good morning from New York. Hello, Dr. Karen. It's always great to have your support too. Offside Logic in a windswept Orkney. It's always windswept in Orkney, isn't it? Hello to Delsang, who says good morning, afternoon. Hello to Aman and to Modish Mark, who's in a beautiful Seattle sunny day. And Mark is loving our DJ Angelo course teaser video, Phil. It's crazy. Right, okay, so I'll tell you a bit about that later. I don't want to get away from our topic too much right now, which is these DJ controllers. I've got 4 of what we consider to be the best DJ controllers between $500 and $1,000, and I'm going to tell you why in today's live broadcast. Ian Bean says, I finally joined at the beginning of the stream and not near the end. That's good. Hello, Technobeat TV over there in the Philippines. And Earl Whiff Says you're featuring my gear this week. Great. Okay, well look, let's do that. There's lots more people I want to say hello to. Hello to Craig and Benedict and Delsang and Jack and War Machine and Nine Iron and all you gorgeous people who are here every week. But I do want to get started on the meat and bones if you like. So let's do that. Let's head back over here to the workshop and start talking about controllers around the price point that we are talking about here today, 500 to 1,000. So when you're spending 500 to 1,000 on a controller, you can expect more than if you're spending 300 to 500. To start with, you're always going to get the full version of the software. So that only really applies to Serato nowadays. But look, if it's got the software written on the box, you're getting the full version with everything ready for you to use, which you don't get with some of the cheaper controllers. You're also going to get at least auxiliary inputs, at least one auxiliary input, but normally you're going to get the ability to plug in record decks and line inputs as well. You're normally going to get 4 channels. You're definitely going to get better jog wheels. You're definitely going to get better outputs. So you won't just have the one single output, a master output with 2 RCA plugs. You'll get more than that. And normally you'll get pro outputs, balanced outputs, and so on as well. You'll probably get good microphone channels with EQ. So this price point, 500 to 1,000, is probably best looked at as the kind of cut down to not so cut down professional gear rather than oversized, punching above its weight, amateur entry-level gear, but not always, as we're going to find out. So we're going to count down from the bottom up here. So our bottom controller, if you like, and I say bottom, it's a great buy. All these controllers are great buys. I wouldn't be talking to you about them, but certainly it is the one that we've got out of the 4 we've got here at the bottom of the list is the Pioneer DJ DDJ-FLX6 or Flex 6. It's this one here. So the FLX6 is basically the Pioneer DDJ-400, which is a great little controller, in big boys clothes. It's got 4 channels instead of 2. It's got awesome jog wheels, really, really good jog wheels. Easily the best part about this controller are these jog wheels. They're just pro sized, they feel like pro jog wheels. They're really, really cool. And it is, therefore, looks the part, right? It's going to look great on your live streams. It's going to look great in your home studio. It's going to look great when you're playing parties. Not so good for pro use. The reason this isn't so good for pro use is simple. It ain't got all the pro features. It's got one poor microphone input with no EQ on it. No auxiliary inputs at all. You want to plug anything else into this, even a backup source, can't do it. It's got a master and a booth out around the back, but it hasn't got a balanced output, so you can't plug it into a PA straight with XLR cables and get the best quality audio. It's got very limited effects. No standalone mixer, of course, because it's got no extra inputs to it, so you can't plug record decks and line, so you wouldn't have that. So the pads are poor. They're just exactly the same as you get on the DDJ-400. So this is an oversized beginner controller. It's almost like a beginner controller on steroids, and it's awesome if that's what you want. But if you're looking to spend a little bit more than those kind of controllers to have something that you can play out dependably and regularly on, it isn't the Pioneer DDJ-FLX6, good though it is. So that's our number 4. Our number 3 controller, and I was debating about what order to put these in, and I think I put it in the order I'm going to give you now, but if I didn't in the final piece, because this will get written up in a piece, they're really pretty close, the next 2 controllers. I'm actually going to go for the Pioneer DDJ-800 as our number 3. Pioneer DDJ-800. Now this is a controller which is unlike a big version of a cheap one, if you like. This is like a cut down version of an expensive one. So Pioneer DJ's runaway success controller of the last few years has been the DDJ-1000, which comes in over our $1,000 price cutoff here. This is the 2-channel, slightly smaller version of that controller. It's only got a 2-channel mixer, but that said, and it's got smaller jog wheels, but that said, you're getting pretty much the same controller here. So if you only want 2 channels, you're the kind of DJ that just doesn't use more than 2 channels, then you're getting something that's smaller and more portable here. The jog wheels are still perfectly usable. It's got the full club layout. It's got the ability to plug in 2 external inputs, which can be line or phono. It's got 2 microphone channels. They share EQ, but there is EQ on the microphone channels. Hardware effects, great pads, RGB, controlling everything, proper balanced outputs for your master, and you also get balanced outputs for your booth output as well. So basically what you're getting here is the kind of cut down version of Pioneer Pro Club gear, and it's a really, really nice controller. It's for Serato. It's for Serato. It's for Rekordbox. You get the full Rekordbox software with it. It's a really, really nice controller, and the only thing you're going to want to think about is, do you want 4 channels? Because it's not an awful lot more money to get the 4-channel version of this, the DDJ-1000. But the Pioneer DDJ-800 is a worthy 3rd place in this lineup. Now, 2nd place is our Traktor controller, the Traktor Kontrol S4 Mk3. This is the pinnacle controller for Traktor. There ain't no controller above this. It is a really nice unit, nicely laid out. Jog wheels, not too big, but nice. They are motorized, unbelievably. They actually spin round. They've got haptic feedback. It's a bit of a gimmick. Gives you a little kick when you're at a cue point and stuff. But the motorized is actually really nice. They look and feel good. They look great on your live streams, for instance. Full control over Traktor's effects. Full 4-channel mixer, including you can plug in 2 record decks or 4 line inputs, or up to 4 things, 2 of them being record decks. The effects are particularly good in that you've got the ability to have, you know, filters or other effects on the big knobs underneath each channel, but you can also choose which ones you have there. So you could set that to have a different effect for each channel, which you can't do in any other controller in this lineup, or I can't think of any other than Traktor controllers you can do that with at all. The pads are great. They've got little screens here. They haven't got screens in the jog wheels like the 2 controllers from Pioneer, but they've got screens here which give you some really useful feedback. Overall, and it's got great outputs as well and great microphone inputs. So overall, for native instruments, if you want to use Traktor and you want the best, that is a fully pro controller, Traktor Kontrol S4 Mk3. Thoroughly recommend it. It is a worthy 2nd place. So now we're moving on to our 1st place controller, and those of you that were looking carefully at our opening shot would have spotted that there's only one left now. It's like the chart countdown, isn't it? You remember when you were a kid listening to the charts and there was only one song left and they'd already played the number 2. You kind of knew, but you just wanted them to play it to make sure. The number 1 in this price bracket, 500 to 1,000, is the Roland DJ-707M. Now, this is the only one that I really have to zoom in on to show you because it's not very big compared to the others. It looks a little bit unassuming, doesn't it? It's got small jog wheels, just looks a bit like, whatever. This is the most powerful controller out of the 4 that I've just shown you, and I'm going to explain to you why now. So this controller here is the one you want if you want to play out regularly. Stick this in a nice flight case so it looks like the part, and you'll look good enough with it, even though it's smaller than the others. But more to the point, it's got so much on it that the others haven't got. So it's got, for me, one of the nicest features of this, apart from the fact that you can plug in, you know, the same as all the others, you can plug in, or most of the others, you can plug in full 4 external sources on it. But you can play out into 2 different places. So you can play out into a completely separate zone. So if you're an event DJ and you've got to play some music in one room while you're DJing in another, you can do that with this. You can have different, what they call scenes set up. And a scene will be a set of values which go with a particular venue. So in a particular venue, if you always tweak the bass and treble a bit, and you always have the mic feedback on, it's got mic feedback on its 2 brilliant mic channels. The 2 mic channels have got full 3-band EQ on them, which you don't get on any of the others. If you want to tweak all those things, including you can put compressor and limiter over your output on this, you can do that, tweak it all, but also you can then save those settings. So next time you come to the venue, press 1 button, they all kick in. It's even got a sequencer on it, but more useful because it's Roland. Roland has to have a sequencer, right? But more usefully, you can plug 2 laptops in the back, unlike any of the other devices here, which means you can switch over to another DJ, but more likely you can have a backup computer ready in case there's any problem with your main computer. It controls pretty much everything on Serato, which is the software that comes with it, including full control of Serato effects, which you don't get on a lot of controllers nowadays. Overall, I think this is the worthy winner here. If you want something, the kind of thinking person's controller, because it doesn't look as flash as any of the others. If you want something and you don't want to spend more than 1,000 that you can use professionally for a long, long time and not outgrow, it would be that. Now, you won't go wrong with any of these. even if you want to buy a controller to in the future use a lot in public, at that point you want to avoid the FLX or the FLX6 from Pioneer DJ, because it just isn't built for playing public gigs on. It hasn't got the stuff you need. But apart from that, the number 3, 2 and 1 DDJ-800, Kontrol S4 and Roland 707M, you don't need to spend any more money than that to have a controller you will never outgrow. So when we look at the controllers above $1,000 next time, they're going to have something pretty special to command your money. But that's where I want to end the lesson part of this, because there's a lesson here which is the stuff that differentiates these controllers that we've got here. The Traktor with its spinning jog wheels and its nice screens, the DDJ-800 with its hardware effects, the FLX6 which with its 4 channels instead of 2 and its big knob at the top here to do weird effects stuff, and the DJ-707M with all that clever stuff I just talked about. Those things that differentiate these units from equivalent units that will cost you between $300 and $500, unless you're sure you want some of those things, you're still best off going for an entry-level controller to start with, because until you've had a controller for a while, you don't know what features are important to you. Do you need spinning jogs? Do you need 4 channels? Do you need all that flexibility on the outputs? Do you need the big silly, I say silly, but that's being a bit unfair, the big knobs on the Pioneer one that'll give you the instant EDM stuff? You don't really know that until you've had a controller that's a little bit cheaper for longer. And if you buy a cheaper controller, it will always end up staying with you as your backup device anyway. So be careful when you're spending more money not to waste that money. I guess that's all I'm saying. Right, so that's the lesson part done here. Let's go back to the comment cam and spend the rest of our time together today chatting through what you guys and girls have to say about this. And if you've got questions which aren't related to this, I always say this at this point because there will be questions here that are not related to this. If you've got questions that aren't related to this, don't worry about that. But what I will say is hang around and come back on Thursday, because Thursday is the day when we talk about all the stuff that is not about controllers in this price range. Okay, let's have a look down here at the rest. So GK Asante says, go Numark NS7 III. I'm not sure how available the NS7 III is at the moment, but also I think it's more than 1,000, but thank you for that. Lou, hello to you, Lou. Hello to Alex up there in Scarborough by the sea, North Yorkshire, England. So questions about this topic. So Modish Mark says, I still use my DDJ SR. It's going strong still. It was until about 3 weeks ago when my cat knocked it on the floor and did some minor damage. Pioneer don't have any mid-range Serato controllers anymore. You know, there isn't, for instance, a version of the DDJ-800 for Serato, this one here. So they used to make this range, and if you can still get them, then whoop, that's the wrong camera. If you still get them, they're worth looking at, like the DDJ SR. So thank you for that bit of advice there, Modish Mark, and thank you for letting us know that you're still finding that a good controller. So War Machine's using the Denon DJ Prime 4, more than 1,000. It's also not a controller. It is a standalone DJ system, but thank you for that, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. The next comment here is from Nick, who says, I love my Traktor Kontrol S8. I got it for $650, but I worry about Traktor long term. Yeah, the S8 was a Traktor controller without jog wheels, which they don't make anymore. But look, Traktor's not going anywhere. I wouldn't worry about that long term. Worry about other things long term. Leon says a better controller won't make me a better DJ. I know that, so if I up my skills, why do I need a better controller? Well, hopefully I've answered that for you here. If you up your skills, you might want extra channels. If you up your skills, you might want to play out more and need some of the pro features that these controllers have that the cheaper ones don't. But as I said to you at the beginning, the beginner controllers that we looked at last week will allow you to up your skills. So you're very right there, Leon. You don't need any of these to be a great DJ. So thanks for pointing that out. Hi to Oliver over there in Germany. Tell me the best one to get with my upcoming tax refund, says Dr. Karen. Lucky you. Well, hopefully I've helped you here. Alan's loving the stream and says, I recommend for anyone looking between $500 and $1,000, the DDJ-800, that's on our list, isn't it? I upgraded to it from the 400, which was also very good. It ticks all the boxes for me. And loving the courses as well, says Alan, especially the complete DJ course, which has helped me greatly. So I'm pleased that that's helped you, Alan. Good. So the DDJ-800 blows the Numark NV out of the water, says Matthew. Yeah, we haven't covered the NV because, again, I'm not so sure how available that is anymore. But But there we go. Buy new, says Herb. Second hand can come with problems. Same with any second hand, I guess, doesn't it? It's very wet in Huddersfield in West Yorkshire, apparently. Benedict says, I love my S4 Mk3, a controller which I can grow with and which I can take on the road. Another vote for the S4 Mk3 there. If you've got any questions about this, do let me know, because it's lovely to hear what controllers you've got. But if you've got any questions, don't hold back. I'm here to help you. Craig just says, oh no, it's Lou actually. It says, I really like the back with all the shelves. It's better than the blank wall that's behind you that we used to have. Yeah, we've had a bit of a rearrange here in the studio. We've got a new camera here as well, actually. So if I'm looking, if you can see my age more, it's because it's focusing better on my face. And that means it's doing its job, I think. So Alan says, the FLX was definitely a strange controller for Pioneer to bring out, in my opinion. It's a $400 or pounds controller tops. And I totally agree with you, Phil, being it basically a 4-channel DDJ-400. Yeah, it's overpriced, I think that's the thing with that one. The DDJ-800 is my next upgrade from my DDJ-SB3. I'm not big on 4 channels. That is a great choice because you're upgrading to something professional. So that does make sense from your old controller there, as long as you're happy to switch to record box, of course. The S4 Mk3 is a great standalone mixer too, says Mixmaster G. Yeah, we've also got the DDJ-800 and the Roland DJ-707M that can work standalone too in this lineup. I never fancied that FLX6, says Craig. Given the choice now, I'd still go for the DDJ-800. Yeah, I think you're pretty on safe ground there. So Peter says, can you mention which have the best phono preamps for people who want to switch between vinyl and digital? Don't go for the Pioneer DDJ-800, which has a substandard phono amp. The Traktor Kontrol S4 and the Roland 707M will be fine playing records through the phono inputs, but the Traktor is a known thing that it's just not a brilliant phono preamp they've put in that one there. Or the DDJ-1000 actually. We need a DDJ-800 SRT. Yes, I agree. That would be a great controller for them to come out with. So Mixmaster G is loving the S4 Mk3, saying it's on par with the DDJ-1000. I agree with you there. Let's just see if we've got 1 or 2 more here that we can jump on. There's some people agreeing with me about the S4 Mk3's phono preamps and Traktor. By the way, if you enjoy this, then we will be putting this on the website. It's being edited as we speak, and it will probably be there before the end of the week. We'll have a full write-up of this on the website, and this video will appear at the top. So you're almost part of what ends up in the written piece, because if you raise anything here that I've forgotten on the written piece, I go to add it. Let's gamble on who's going to be in the lead next week, Phil. Well, it depends what we talk about next week. I might switch to the best microphones for all you know. No, there's a chance we'll be doing the best controllers above 1,000, just a chance. And I might include standalone units there as well, because it will make it more fun, won't it? So we will see. No reference to the Denon MC7000. Nope, don't make it anymore, Ian. That's why we're not referring to it. The SX is still my daily. Had it for nearly 6 years. Might get an 800. The Pioneer DDJ-SX, SX2 and SX3, all great controllers. If you can get them, go with them. The difference between those and Pioneer's DDJ-1000 SRT, which we're not talking about now, but we will talk about it quickly, is that you get better control over the Serato effects. And what you don't get is the kind of club layout. That's what you don't get almost in payoff for that. Anyway, back to our point we're talking about today. James says, I agree with starting with an entry-level controller. I just upgraded to a DDJ-1000 and only now am I ready to use some of its features. I would have been lost if I'd have started with the 1000. Alan says, well, actually, we'll talk about that next week, Alan. Oh, no, Alan's saying we need a stripped-down DDJ-1000 SRT, just like the Pioneer DDJ-800 down in this picture in the bottom, the top left, is a stripped-down DDJ-1000. So we need a Serato version of that as well, because we ain't got one in this price point. I agree completely. Northwest Audio Event DJs says, I went from an SB3 to a DDJ-1000. It seemed to tick all the boxes when it came out. I've since switched it for the 1000 SRT version, but gear lust is real. I could do what I do with the 800 or the Roland. Gear lust is real. What did we call it the other week? I can't remember. We gave it a syndrome name. I don't remember. When I'm live, I forget everything. When I know we're live, everything slips. But anyway, yep, gear lust is definitely a thing. Hello to Mo, who says, I would enjoy the Hercules 500 for an alternative controller. We talked about that last week, actually, Mo. It would be lovely if the new Mark IV track was still available. Yeah, that was a great controller in its day, but it never really took off for some reason. Nick says, I'm not, because Nick was worrying about Traktor earlier, so I'm not actually worried about Traktor disappearing, more about not getting new features in a reasonable time frame. Yeah, well, you know, most of the stuff they're adding to DJ software nowadays is pretty optional, right? You know, unless you want streaming services and video and stuff, and most DJs still don't, you're all right with Traktor, but I hear completely what you're saying. This is a good point. Are there DJ controllers in this price range that are both USB and AC powered? The Pioneer DJ-FLX6 is only USB powered, and I'm pretty sure that's right. I haven't actually looked around the back of it recently, but I remember from the review, yep, only USB powered. So another reason why that is an overgrown entry-level controller rather than a pro controller, because all the others need the brick plugging in for them to work. They're not going to work without that at all, because they need more power. They've got better everything, and therefore they need more power for it. I have a Pioneer DDJ-SR and I want to upgrade to something, but I don't want 4 channels. There isn't a Pro 2-channel Serato controller to upgrade to, but maybe you should consider the Roland 707M that we looked at there, because although it's got 4 channels, it's still got that smallness that I'm guessing you want there, Steve. So cool, right, so we're going to read out 1 or 2 more of these. Before we do, actually, I just want to let you know about something quite special, and I'm actually going to do something here which I haven't done here before, and no one's seen this who hasn't bought this. So this is our mixing courses section on our website, and we have a new mixing course with our friend DJ Angelo. It's called DJ Angelo's Tricks and Transitions, and it's a course for you if you want to play open format. If you want to play hip hop, and you want to play trap, and you want to play funk and R&B and soul and rock and pop and mix them all together like a pro. Angelo uses wordplay and pitch play and tone play and scratching and beat juggling and big BPM changes and big tempo changes in order to really do some clever stuff with open format music in a way that you don't get on any of our other courses. We don't have a course anywhere else that covers this kind of music, playing real top end tricks and stuff like this. So if you're interested, you can get more about the DJ Angelo course there. djtips.co/tricks, learn more about this course. And what I wanted to do there, which I haven't done for anyone before on any of our lives, is just show you inside the course, because there's a lot of people in there now and a lot of people are loving it. So we'll switch over to our courses area of our site, and I'll scroll down and I'll show you what this course looks like on the inside. So this is me and Angelo introducing it, and then you have the modules. Here's all the modules: music preparation, techniques, tricks over tracks, acapellas, melodic performing, escaping the genre trap. You also have bonuses. So in the bonuses you get lots and lots of practice demos. Here's the practice demos where you can go through and practice all the stuff that is in the course with these special videos. There's slow down versions as well for you to practice, or even downloads. So you can download the audio onto your DJ system and then play along with the tricks that Angelo teaches. And then there's also I just want to show you inside one of the modules so you can see the kind of detail that we go to in these courses. Let's just go to the Using Acapellas Creatively module. So here's how to use acapellas creatively, talking through this. So we'll drill into one of the videos. Let's go to the acapella switch 2-track variation here. So you see a full video of it's about 7 minutes long. All the videos are about 7 to 10 minutes long, talking through this. And then underneath you can ask questions and get help. There's downloadable sheets. There's extra videos to help you learn the tricks that are shown there. You can add your comments underneath as well and get help. It's a really thorough course and we're very proud of it. It's the first mixed course we've made with Angelo. We've worked with Angelo plenty of times before, but we've never done a full course with him, and it's doing really, really well. It's currently on an offer where you can get this course for $100 saving, but only for a couple of days longer, best of my knowledge. So do have a look quickly if it looks like something of interest to you. Basically, if you play open format, if you play hip hop, if you play pop, if you play rock and Latin and R&B, and you want to blend all this lot together properly, that's the course for you. Right, now I've got that out of the way. Let's just have one or two more of your comments about the controllers. And if you have just joined us, we've been talking about our 4 favorite controllers in the $500 to $1,000 price point. And to review what they were, the number 4 was the one in the top left of your screen there, top middle of your screen there, the FLX6 from Pioneer. Number 3 was the top left, the DDJ-800 from Pioneer. Number 2 was the bottom controller there, the Traktor Kontrol S4 Mk3. And number 1, disappearing off the right hand side of your screen there, the DJ-707M from Roland. You can read up about this on the site. The full post will be published in a few days. You can also watch this video again by going back to the beginning of it on Facebook and YouTube. Right, 1 or 2 more comments. Phil, you are awesome. Well, I'm always going to put that on the screen. Thank you, Wendy. You showed me how to work my XDJ-RX. You're the best teacher. Oh, thank you for that, Wendy. I don't know, Wendy, I promise you. I bought the DDJ-RX 2 years ago for 879, and I love it. The RX 2 years ago. I set it up with my 1210 Mark IIs, best of both worlds. Yeah, that's the previous controller to Pioneer's DDJ-1000, which we'll be talking about next week, a little bit bigger than these. Lots of you voting for the Numark NS6 Mark II, still kicking around nowadays, even though I'm pretty sure they don't make it anymore. It is a good controller, no doubt about that. Now let me just talk about software, because we've talked about controllers here for Traktor, Rekordbox, and for Serato. All of these controllers will work with Virtual DJ. You've got to buy the software, but when you plug it in, they'll all work with it. Virtual DJ are good at that kind of stuff. Alice says, I got the Traktor Kontrol S3. It's an awesome controller. I'm sad they don't make single players. No, but Den and DJ do. Hopefully, Den and DJ single players, which we have here. Some of you will know these ones, which we talked about a little bit earlier on last week. These little players here are working with Traktor soon, we hope. We don't have an official word on it, but we think you're going to see these for Traktor soon enough. They currently work with Serato, they currently work with Virtual DJ, I'm pretty sure they work with Virtual DJ already. Currently work with, obviously, Den and DJ's gear, and with Algorithm's DJ Pro AI software. I just got a feeling, because they're having a big push on these working with everything, that they're going to get these working with Traktor. As I say, no official word on that, but watch this space. So hopefully, if you want that kind of player for Traktor, you may not have to wait too long to find out. Right, 1 or 2 more then. So many comments here, so sorry if I can't get to all of you. My team will try to afterwards. I'm just looking for 1 or 2 things. So I've answered Orlando's question about Virtual DJ. I'm glad I kind of preempted that one. Craig says, this is a great topic, Phil. I really want to know the best options for wireless mics. Come back on Thursday, Craig. We can talk more about that stuff on Thursday. So Driver John says, I use Traktor and I love vinyl. To get around the poor preamp, I use a Pioneer DJ-M250 Mark II, 2 Technics 1200s and a Kontrol X1. Wow, you've got to really, you've gone to town getting that set up right, haven't you? So DJ Mike, I've played on CDJs for almost 15 years, but for my streams, I went with the DDJ-400, even more, below these controllers. Going backwards, I strongly recommend the 400 because I felt at home on it, and the stuff I'm missing on the CDJs and 900 Nexus 2 is minimal. And Klaus is talking about the new Angelo course. Says, I've only just started it, but it's pretty cool indeed. So I'm glad you are enjoying that. Right, people, I'm going to stop now because I need to go. I'm back here in 2 and a bit hours. So for all those of you who are on our Digital DJ Lab program, which some of you might have seen if you were being really careful when I was showing you the website earlier at the top. But if you're on our Digital DJ Lab program, which is our subscription program for DJs, come join me at 8 p.m. Central European, 7 p.m. London, 2 p.m. Eastern today, where we're going to do our inside track looking at 3 burning topics in the DJ world. And if you are not in our Digital DJ Lab program, you are missing an awesome DJ program that goes above and beyond our courses. Now, don't join it now. Who else says that? Who else running a company says don't buy what we've got? No, but seriously, don't join it now, because in a little while, literally a week or two, we will open Digital DJ Lab again for you to have a $1 trial of it, so you can see if it's what you want before shelling out any real money. But have a look at that when it comes back at some point in the next couple of weeks. We normally do a flash open and just let a few more people in to Digital DJ Lab at that rate, so that will be coming soon. Right, I'm done. I've got to shoot, people. As always, if you've enjoyed this, please do hit the share button, please do hit the like button, please do subscribe if you're joining us late and you missed at the beginning, because this is all live. We're live every Tuesday, we're live every Thursday, and we're live every Sunday as well. So if you want to catch up on the team just hanging out and having fun together and playing music, come and join us on a Sunday. But if you want education, come and join us on a Tuesday or a Thursday. Thank you for being here, everyone. We love you. Get good, get out there, make the moments, and I'll see you again. If not tonight, I'll see you again on Thursday. Same time, same place. Till then, bye-bye.